What's up, everyone? Welcome to the wrap-up. I'm your girl, Ari Chambers, standing next to Olympic gold medalist, WNBA champion, Texas Longhorns legend, Ariel Atkins. Ariel, thank you for inviting us into your home today.
Absolutely. Happy you guys are here.
Just like everybody else, you watched the game, so just, top to bottom, your thoughts on the game.
I mean, my most favorite thing about this game is how hard Texas is playing right now. I think it's really going to give them an edge going into the season, but they're playing this hard early on, and I know it's something that they can sustain.
As I was walking through campus earlier this week, I just saw, I love how you said it's something that they can sustain, because I saw sustained excellence throughout this program. I understand there was a coaching switch since you've been there, but what about the history of the Longhorns demands that excellence?
I mean, there's a quote that we have is the mentality and the trustworthy of the Texas athletics and everything in it will not be entrusted to the weak or timid. And I think that's something that we all embody being a Longhorn.
As I was looking at the stat sheet, I obviously approach it as a different eye. What stands out to you most about this?
Right here, you straight off the bat, I got Maddie Booker with 12 of 17. I think that's absolutely insane. But then I come down to the rebounds. It looks like it was equal, but you got these post players that are locking in. I mean, again, Maddie at the top of the rebounds with 7. I just think it's phenomenal the way they're playing. And I mean, in the plus minus, Maddie 37, Rory 36, Jordan Lee 35. I mean, that's just beautiful. Yeah, I know, it's just beautiful. I mean, you look at this, it's beautiful basketball they're playing right now.
And you know what it takes to make it to the next level and really succeed in the elite realm. What about this Texas team alludes to that excellence?
I mean, absolutely the amount of work that they put in and how excited they are for each other on the floor. But I think the biggest thing is that their cohesiveness. You kind of see they're always on the same page, and there might be a moment where somebody messes something up, and then you see them right away. The person that messes up says, my bad. Nobody's hanging their head. Nobody's looking at the other person, wanting them to do something different. I mean, and Rory has complete command of her team right now, and I think when you talk about doing things at the next level, those are things that nobody really pays attention to that you need going into a year where you're trying to fight for a championship.
And I like to ask people, who should we be looking out for that we might not necessarily talk about? We know the Rories, we know the Madisons of the world, but on this team, is there anybody that stood out to you in a pleasant way?
We'll go right here, Kyla.
Yes.
I think this is a big girl who she's got her hedging. She's calling out the screens loud. I mean, the whole gym heard it today. Calling out left and right for the screens as a guard, I'm extremely thankful for that. So that's something that stood out to me today, and she's relentless on the boards.
Absolutely. And as a point guard yourself, what can you speak to about Rory's game?
I mean, just her command of her team. The moment the whistle blows, eyes are on her. I think everybody's looking at her to not only help make the decisions, but to be the quarterback of the team and run it really well. And she just makes those good decisions, and she gets everybody involved.
Just like you making good decisions. That's why you're so successful. Thank you so much. Texas legend in the building. Thanks, Ariel.
Of course.
Next up, we have Ryan Ruocco and Rebecca Lobo coming up. But man, you're good, babe. You're good. We're bringing in this power suit. Y'all can't see, it's off camera right now, but there's some love going on. You can go ahead and step on in here, Miss Rebecca. You know I miss you. Whatever one you want, because when you're in the Hall of Fame, that's what you can do.
That's how it is. Am I on this
Needs
side?
no
On this side?
You don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
In this position.
No, usually Ryan's in charge, leading the whole thing.
I kind of wish he would take over right now, to be honest.
That's right. Ari.
The incomparable Ryan Ruocco and the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. We just witnessed Texas blowout. I need you all to run me down what you saw from the booth.
Well, I think first of all, it's another illustration of how good Texas is. Texas is clearly, they're ranked second in the country for a reason. They're, I think, in that top tier with UConn and LSU. They are just simply dominant, which is incredible considering the fact that they still have some important pieces that have to get healthy. But this is a team without question that can win a national championship. And what they did in particular on the defensive end today was just simply dominant.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good. And I think one thing that's rare this time of year is they've been tested a lot. You look at the teams that they've played, to have 5 wins against the top 25 already, to have beaten UCLA and South Carolina on back-to-back days. They just look like they were in a completely different class today than Baylor. And you're talking about a team that came into this game 13th in the nation in Baylor. And Texas was just in a completely different stratosphere. See the development of Jordan Lee, how much better she's gotten. We know her impact defensively, how much better she's gotten offensively. Booker is just in total control. And Rory has her burst back. And then their bigs, Vic's bigs are always always good, always tough, and that's what they have as well.
And we're seeing mostly, offensive clips that are being shown. But one of the things that really impressed me when we even got into the fourth quarter was how hard Texas was still playing on the defensive end of the floor. And it wasn't just, picking up full court. It was denying passes, making it hard for Baylor to execute anything in the quarter court, and playing as hard in the fourth quarter of a 30-plus point game as they were in the first. And that's sort of a hallmark of what Vic Schaefer teams do.
Absolutely. You mentioned Booker and Lee. They combined for 14 points just in the third. Obviously, we're going to get to defense, but offensively, I was just seeing them work like clockwork. Why did it work for Texas and not necessarily Baylor?
I think because Texas was going against Baylor's defense, and Baylor was going against Texas's. Texas is just so talented, and especially once Taliah Scott got hurt for Baylor in the first half, she's their engine. She's the 7th leading scorer in the country. She goes out with the ankle sprain, and now everything is going to change. When you gear so much of what you do on the offensive end to your star player, then when she's gone, it's going to have a huge impact on everybody else. And Baylor was already sort of struggling to that point, but not like they did after her loss.
So Ryan, you were intensely calling this as Taliah Scott went down. What did you see, and what impact did that have? Obviously, Rebecca talked on it a little bit.
Yeah, I think you already felt like Baylor was probably going to be a little limited offensively against Texas. And they rely so much on Taliah Scott. She's the hub of everything they do offensively. She's the player you just give the ball to, let her try and break down the defense. So without her, they were already having trouble protecting the basketball. You lose your most dynamic scorer, your most dynamic ball handler. That's a really tall task for Baylor. And so I just think it took what was already a problem for them and made it worse. And Texas feasted. To force 30 turnovers, that's a ridiculous number, but that's, Vic's teams always do that, and this Texas team has the personnel. Rebecca mentioned it during the game, but Vic told us before, he was like, you have one good perimeter defender, you feel good about that. You have 2, you feel great. It's like, I have 3 he was referring to Rory Harmon, Jordan Lee, and Madison Booker, and so he's got the kind of personnel to be able to deploy what he wants to, on that end of the floor. And Baylor was further compromised to be able to handle it once Scott went down.
Yeah, and that's 42 Texas points off of turnovers.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous
versus
number.
2 in Baylor.
Yeah.
But when I look at the stat sheet, I'm looking at the rebounding, right? And you don't necessarily see a huge difference, 33 and 34. But why was Texas's rebounds more impactful, Rebecca?
Well, a lot of them were on the offensive end of the floor. They got themselves second opportunities, and that's already hard when if they're decent possessions by Baylor, and today they tried both man, they tried zone. And then, you get Texas to miss a shot, and all of a sudden they get on the offensive glass and they make you do it all over again. But there were a lot of missed opportunities by Baylor because of those turnovers. What was the difference in terms of field goal attempts? For each of them, 73 and 46. Ryan, do the math for me.
That's 27.
Yeah,
Come on, quick,
27 fewer attempts.
Come on.
So for Texas to still have that many rebounds when Baylor took that many fewer shots, that's another illustration of how sort of dominant they were in terms of their offensive and defensive rebound percentages.
Yeah, checking into practice, Vic Schaefer was like, butt to gut. We always hear that when coaches really want you to get in aggressively. So it's good to know that it came
there
into
were some butts and some guts.
There were some butts and some guts, Rebecca. Ryan, when you look at these two teams for the rest of the season, obviously 2 different conferences, but both very strong teams, both top 15 as we stand right now. What is the differentiating factor between the 2 of them? Why are they in the top 25 right now? What strengths?
Well, I think for Baylor now, it's going to be interesting. You got to look at Taliah Scott's injury and how long she's going to be out. Because if she's going to come back maybe in a shorter time frame than what you might project just based on how bad it looked, then I think Baylor's going to be absolutely contending in the Big 12 and have a terrific season. If she's not, they're going to have a hard time scoring, and that's going to be an issue for them. For Texas, obviously, we know how dominant a conference the SEC is. They're going to be playing really good opponents every night. I think we're all looking forward to their matchups with LSU, all looking forward to their matchup with South Carolina again. We're looking forward to seeing them against Tennessee, even a Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss, and Oklahoma. You get tested night in, night out in the SEC, and usually because of that, you might take a loss here or there. But as long as they're healthy, Texas is going to go into the NCAA tournament as one of the handful of teams that you believe can win a national championship. They're that good. They're that deep. Remember, they're going to get deeper, too. They have 3 rotation players who are out right now. So I think, they are every bit a contender as any team could be at this point in the season.
Oh, this is a perfect segue because we need season predictions.
Okay.
Let's do a little season recap and then push it forward for the rest of the season. Possibly some predictions. So let's start this off. Who is your number 1 team right now? Rebecca, we already know.
Well, I think everybody knows. I mean,
Yeah,
UConn has been simply dominant. We saw what they did yesterday against USC. They had the scare against Michigan, but holy cow, the UConn's a deep team with a lot of players who can put the ball through the hoop. I think they have 2 legitimate National Player of the Year candidates in AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong. But I do think, Texas is a team that can win a national championship. LSU is a team that can win a national championship. I think South Carolina is a Final Four team. Michigan a Final Four team. UCLA a Final Four team. But right now, the way UConn is playing on both ends of the floor, because a lot of times their offense is so sexy that you don't really give them enough credit for what they do defensively. They right now are setting the standard.
That is so real, Rebecca.
And I think right now you'd have to say UConn. Remember, last time we saw them, not only were they winning a national championship, they were absolutely obliterating every team they played on the way. I think that's the thing, right? Like, they played a really good UCLA team. They played a really good South Carolina team in the Final Four, and they dismantled both of them. Now, that team had Paige, this team doesn't. And so I'll be interested to see, especially when they play a Texas eventually, if they do, right? Like the ball handling component, how they handle Texas's pressure. I think that's a worthy, inquisition about this particular iteration of UConn. However, until we see them lose, struggle, based on how we saw them last year, and just how good Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd look, I think you'd have to have them as the favorite. And then I would have Texas and LSU just behind UConn. And South Carolina, I'm always going to put in there because they're, they obviously get to the Final Four every year now. The tough thing for South Carolina is they've had, 2 key absences to their roster. You would feel differently if they had Ashlyn Watkins and Chloe Kitts. I think you'd be looking at their breadth of talent in the same way you're looking at those other 3 teams. But those are 2 really key pieces they don't have, which is why you may say, okay, like maybe they're just not quite as deep as those other 3.
And in fairness, we haven't seen UCLA with Sienna Betts yet.
Yeah, true.
So when she comes and comes back and is healthy and gets integrated, then perhaps we're talking about them as well in that top tier.
I mean, I've been in the building for Texas today, and it's hard for me to, not give them like maybe the number 1 spot. I think they're interchangeable, especially until they face off. I'm excited to see it going forward, but let's take it to individually. What player should we be looking out for?
For player of the nation? For player of the year?
This season so far?
I think there's a couple players who've really impressed me. I mean, Madison Booker, we just saw. Like, what impresses me about Madison is she just is always under control. And we talked to her after the game. She was talking about how Vic Schaefer, because he's always running practice reps at full speed, it kind of trains her and trains you to then be poised in the moment during the game because you have so many reps at full speed. I think when I think about players in the nation who can just go get their own shot whenever they want, Madison Booker is number 1 on that list, and she's just so efficient. So, I mean, that's the first player who, when I think about how impressive she is, I go to her. And then, I thought the best nickname for Sarah Strong last year was from Dee and Sue, who said she's like baby Jokic. And you watch Sarah Strong play, and the way she reads the game and her skill set and the way she gets her teammates open and her touch, she's an unbelievable player. And so Sarah and Madison would be the top 2,
Yeah, I would co-sign on both of those. And then we got a chance to do the LSU Duke game earlier this year. Flau'jae Johnson had kind of a slow start in the first half and then came alive in the second half. And we know her getting out in transition and her incredible slashing ability. And she's shooting over 50% from 3. Like, that is really, really hard to do. And she is just having a great year so far. It'll be fun to see once LSU gets into their SEC slate and their opponents are a little bit more
Stout?
Stout. But you know, we've got some great talent in the women's game. Hannah Hidalgo's had some great moments this year as well. You know,
I mean, you
just
mentioned
kind of what
the
we're.
efficiency of Madison Booker.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the efficiency of Audie Crooks. What have y'all been able to witness?
Oh, yeah.
Audie Crooks.
Yeah, she's awesome. First of all, Audie is just like, her personality is magnetic. And you know, we loved getting a call that Iowa game earlier this week. Audie is so efficient with her touches, and now, you know, not only is she just able to go up and finish the way that she was, she has this fadeaway that is very efficient. It's not just like, okay, she can do it. It's like, no, when she takes that fall away jumper, she's hitting it at a remarkably high rate. So yeah, I'm glad you bring her up, Ari, because she is, I mean, Audie Crooks is absolutely another player who's leading a really good Iowa State team too. Like that's an Iowa State team that I would not rule out the possibility of them making a run to the Final Four either.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Once we saw him in person, it was like, I mean, Audie Crooks, if you don't send multiple defenders, and oftentimes when you do, she's going to score because she's bigger and stronger than any single defender you can put on her. She has incredible hands. She catches everything. She's got, you know, quick, good feet. Even her fingertips. We saw some passes get thrown to her. She's able to corral it just using her fingertips, keeping it in. Addie Brown is a terrific player, future pro. You're going to be seeing her on your courtside seats at Barclays Center because she can really play. And but yeah,
Jada as well.
Yes, Jada Williams.
Jada Williams.
I can't wait to see her settle into this new program. I haven't been really understanding the pathway of her collegiate experience so far, so maybe this is going to be
well, she's starting to make sense of it because she was really good in that game against Iowa.
And you look at those three, right? Like, that's a legitimate big three to then, you know, not put a ceiling on what Iowa State can do.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of players in the WNBA, and they were telling me how they're concerned about, well, they love the fact that every player has so much range, but concerned about positionless basketball in a way that people don't carry functionality per position. Does Audie carry that while having range?
Like, Audie is a phenomenal college player. She is an unstoppable force on the offensive end in women's college basketball. Anytime when you talk about, all right, is this a player whose game is going to translate to the WNBA, my first thought goes to, who does this player remind me of? And I can't think of one for Audie. Like, she has a different, unique game that is completely dominant on the college side. And I'm curious what happens if she gets a shot in the WNBA, if it can translate, especially on the defensive end of the floor. But let's appreciate Audie Crooks right now as one of the most dominant post players in women's college basketball.
Let's appreciate dominant teams in women's college basketball. Are we going to get a redo of the Final Four last year? Who do we have? Championship contenders.
I think that, you know, that's certainly possible. I think LSU is going to be in the Final Four this year, though. Like, they're a really talented team. Even the way we had them last week, and Kim was talking about their team, and even the way she had this confidence about their depth, like, she knows they're really good. She knows that they have not only top-tier talent, but depth at every position. So I feel like LSU will be there. I feel like UConn is likely to be there, and I feel like Texas is likely to be there as well. And then I think you look to South Carolina. I think you can look at a Michigan, a UCLA, an Iowa State if they make a run. I'm probably forgetting a team or two also. I mean, TCU's been great. They had a deep run last year. So, but the team that was on the outside last year that I feel like has a really good chance to get there this year is LSU.
Yeah, I would agree. And you also look, you know, in women's college basketball, we see a lot more teams return to the Final Four than we see the first timer. So even though LSU wasn't there last year, Kim Mulkey's been there. Some of those players have been there. So knowing how to get there, anytime there's a team coached by Dawn Staley, they're going to have a shot to get to the Final Four. She knows how to get them there, Gina Oriam, obviously. So I would not be shocked at all to see a repeat of what we saw last year, but I'm with you. I think LSU is one of the most talented teams in the country, and if they kind of continue to gel and mesh and put everything together, they're going to be tough to stop.
You know, here at ESPN, we're all about the vibes. I need a vibe check from Texas. How was it today? What was
cold.
The energy?
The energy.
It feels like 18.
It was
Are we
cold.
back in Connecticut?
I know.
I mean, the energy was amazing. This whole event was spectacular, really well run. And next time we come, it needs to be warmer.
Yeah.
Texas, If you can.
Do your thing, Texas.
Warm it up. It said, feels like 18. I said, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But all the state championship high school teams, it was just so fun.
I know. Really cool atmosphere. This arena, too, like I said this on air during the game, just aesthetically, it's a beautiful arena, both on the exterior and the interior, and fun to be here and have this event, and everyone who helped put it on. Like, I know how much work went into it, and shout out to everybody who helped make it happen.
And a great site for one of the regionals this year. This is going to be a lot of fun for whoever's here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in the meantime, I'm going to let Ryan and Rebecca go because they have had duties today. And Rebecca in this power suit, oh my God. Thank you to my Hall of Famer and my icon, Ryan and Rebecca.
We'll see you
Y'all
soon.
been real?
Thank
See
you. Thank you.
And if you know anything about your girl, you know I've been running around Texas busy, working, but also having so much fun with the team. So let's hear from Texas really quick.
Hey.
What you doing?
Someone actually just asked me about my top 5. So I got Drake, Lil Wayne,
Naturally.
L.M.A., Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole.
Period.
That's a good.
Period. When I tell you, we're right here.
My top 5 songs is Amen by Madison, Ryan Ward. Second one is Chosen by Jay Manuel. And my top artist was Alex Jean.
Period.
Well, number 1 is Drake. Yeah. 2, I have Party Next Door. Makes sense. 3 is Beyonce. Also makes sense. Mariah the Scientist is 4. And then Now, yeah.
I listen to too many people, I can't build like a real top 10. My top artist is Pierce the Veil. Because I'm quirky. Pierce the Veil, Kaloa Kai, and Drake are my top 3. But if you look at it, it says I listen to people 30 minutes each because I listen to 200. I have 210.
It's like a one and done situation for her. She said no repeats here.
Drake, 4,000 minutes. I'm actually really surprised. That's a no-brainer though. So we both have Drake and Party Next Door at the top. Then I have Gunna, Daniel Caesar, and a bunch of people are tied for last. I'm definitely going Sade if I had to pick a 5th though.
Period. That's my girl.
If it's up to you guys, all we listen to is Drake, and I'm sick of it.
We listen to house music, we listen to country music, then we listen to some R&B.
What was the question?
Let's see what Baylor women's basketball is most proud of.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm most proud of making one of the best decisions of my life and coming to Baylor.
Hello, my name is Kyla Abraham, and something I'm most proud of is overcoming mental health adversities.
Hi, I'm Raquela Johnson, and I'm proud of trusting the process and not giving up.
My name is Kirsten Johnson, and I'm most proud of not being afraid of change.
Hello, my name is Taliah Scott, and I'm most proud of getting the highest GPA I've gotten since I've been in college.
My name is Bella Fauntleroy, and I'm most proud of being named to the Big 12 All-Defensive Team because I pride myself on my defense.
My name is Jana Van Guitenbeek, and I'm most proud of recovering from my ACL injury and playing.
Okay.
My name is Kira Pemberton, and I'm proud of myself for being one of the few Canadians on a Power 4 level team in D1 basketball.
I'm Kayla, and I'm proud to be representing and carrying my Colombian culture everywhere I go.
I'm Ari Chambers, and I'm most proud of being able to help facilitate the stories of great women athletes everywhere. They always say iron sharpens iron, and I'm looking at 2 of the best within college basketball right now. What about you all work so well as a pair?
I think I just talked about Madison and her triple-double, and that's just such a big deal. When you get a triple-double like that, I think that's just a big deal, and it shows how hard you're playing. And it's very, I feel like you could see it. But me and Madison are paired together, we're almost in sync. I think that we're unbeatable, and I think that it pours into our teammates a lot. And so that's just something that we need to do consistently throughout the whole year, and I think we'll be just fine.
What incentivizes an already great team to be even greater?
I think, you want to focus on the details, help side. Taking a charge, that's also a detail for us too. Being in seal, denying the ball. I think also the word I kind of want to say for this team is enjoying. Like, just enjoying the game of basketball is kind of like what you say, like iron sharp irons. Just not for us, but with our teammates, with our practice guys too, with our coaches. So I think, just this whole staff, this whole program we're enjoying the game of basketball.
Well, I'm in Waco. I have to know, what's the best part of being in this town?
I would say the people. They love sport, so we get that support too. But I would definitely have to say the people.
What is it like to play for a community that's completely behind you like that?
Yeah, it just makes you want to go out and give like 100% every time you step on the court, right? Knowing you have a whole city behind you, you have all these fans, kids, adults, everybody that's looking up to you, and to be able to go out and compete for them and wear Baylor on the front and knowing that you have a whole bunch of people behind you, it just makes you want to play so much harder.
You talk about playing harder, but it's a collective effort, and the two of you are so amazing together. What's the significance of having somebody who can, balance you out in the way that you all do?
Yeah, I think it's just we bring out the best of each other, right? I know that Bug's gonna get every rebound imaginable. I know she's gonna grab the ball. I know she's gonna finish. I know she's gonna make her 15-foot pull-up. So it just brings out the best. So wherever I lack, I know she's gonna pick up for that. And wherever she lacks, I know I'm gonna pick up for that.
You all are undefeated at home. Again, going back to the community that backs you. What are the keys to success, especially playing in front of the home environment?
I'm just going out there and playing hard. I mean, we worked all week or whatever for this, so why not come out and play hard and, like you said, have fun, get the win. Nothing matters if you don't win.
I think all the off-season work that we've done, all the conditioning, all the hard stuff that we've been through together, it just brings us together and makes us want to go out and play hard for each other because we know exactly what we've been through, and it's been hard. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, but just knowing that I got your back and you got my back, and so we'll go out and we'll compete as much and as hard as we can.
There's so many great duos that exist between Baylor and Texas. And it's honestly all of college basketball. Being able to sit down with Rory and Madison on the Texas side and seeing how they really make each other better, talking to me about that was beautiful. And then you go on the Baylor side where all of them are working together. Their slogan is we over me. So making sure that they're greater than ultimate team identity is making sure it's cohesive. And I know that they're going to band together because Taliah Scott, we wish her the very best as we track that injury going on forward in the season. But like Ryan and Rebecca said, I don't know about a repeat for the Final Four, but there's so much more parity within women's basketball outside of the main teams that we always talk about. But I'm glad that two were on full display in Texas. The Battle of Texas today might have been run by Texas, but we have a lot of season left. Again, I'm Ari Chambers. Thank you so much for joining us for the inaugural ESPNW Invitational. Guys, I can speak. It's been a long, long day, but we're here on the court deconstructing, and we're out.